Bramborough back with Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. France 1890 start, legendary difficulty. Lots of anti-destroyer action in this episode. The Sardinia War against Italy continues, but Germany has now declared war as well. France faces a two-front naval challenge with the smallest navy in Europe. However technologically advanced it may be. Although we've avoided a direct clash with the main Italian battle fleet up till now, French forces have inflicted quite a few losses elsewhere to gain the upper hand against Italy. Can we force a favorable settlement with Italy before the brunt of German naval power is brought to bear? Let's find out.
So there's been some diplomatic updates. First of all, that war between Britain and the other powers did indeed end. And, zoop, apparently we're at war with Germany now. So, at war with both Germany and Italy. And oh, by the way, our relations with Austria-Hungary are getting pretty bad. So I think we're going to be at war against three powers all at once. The only country we're friendly with now is Britain, who basically is on its butt. So pretty soon it's pretty much France against everybody now. It was England against everybody, now it's us. Which would kind of be okay, except for fleets like, they're all in Palermo right now. Except for task forces like this, right? With like 200 ships in them. That's not a gameplay thing. It's a whose computer can handle that thing. Had another one of those this month. Was able to slowly withdraw from it. Wasn't worth recording. And then we had another battle against the lone destroyer, and I just thought I resolved that as well. And now, pretty soon Germany is going to have... There they are. There's the German doom stack. Similarly sized. In any case, that is a situation now. But I've also done a refit of the La Motte Piquet light cruiser class. And that was an old cruiser. Didn't have very many of them. I had 6, now I have 5. Was able to put together a fairly extensive refit. Armor, speed, a little bit of speed, various and sundry techs. And she actually came back, the refit version is not much more expensive than the original and far more capable. Especially in torpedoes. So I thought it was worth doing. Get some more life out of these older designs. One thing is the induced boilers made a tremendous amount of difference for both smoke interference and engine efficiency. And the surviving hulls of that class, I've got them undergoing refit now. Or I think I have the ones in the Atlantic Fleet. Yeah, Pascal and... You know what, I'm going to go ahead and do them too. Let's do those 2. And then the other 3 are actually at sea in a task force now. Okay, we've got a battle here off of Western Sicily. 3 of our... one Rochambeau and 2 Bouvin class heavy cruisers against a battleship. I think this is that same class of late pre-Dreadnought. A couple of light cruisers and a destroyer. Okay, enemy sighted. That is the torpedo boat. Eventually, one of these shells is going to land on that TB. No, it is a DD. See if we can comb these torpedoes. Hard right. Hard right rudder. Well, I don't see the torpedo anymore. I think I heard the splash. I think that maybe that torpedo self-destructed or malfunctioned. I just didn't see the splash. That's what it sounded like, though. Yeah, the target fast speed, the target maneuver, or target ship size are driving that accuracy way down. Starting to take some hits over there, those. Askianji is flooding. Okay. I think that, there we go. Surely that Italian battleship is not running away from us. Smoke back to the northeast. Cloudy weather affecting accuracy. And smooth sea waves, which sounds like it ought to be a buff, but it isn't. Apparently not smooth enough. Okay, another contact acquired. Who is this? I think that's the battleship. Sure would have liked to have cleared out more of those cruisers. I think there's 2 light cruisers here. And another group. Well, we can't smoke up. We do need to get a little bit closer to make our own guns at least somewhat effective. Okay, there's one of the light cruisers over here in the smoke, and there's the other one. So they're sitting out behind the battleship, and that's fine. Let's just go HE. It's going to take a while, but all of these 2.9s are eventually going to start adding up on that battleship. We don't need to get too close to that light cruiser. Looks like two different classes of light cruiser. One 2 stacked and one 4 stacked. Well, that light cruiser's already getting pretty beat up there. Either it already fired all its torpedoes or we damaged its torpedo launchers. I kind of suspect it's number 2. Giovanni is already just about to flood out. It's effectively a mission kill as it is. Let's get all the guns back onto the battleship. The Drago Volante, which hasn't taken much damage but does have some fires going. Jules Ferry has taken a pretty big hit there. He's going to continue to take more hits. At the point I'm going to detach her. Angle her off this way. Not really trying to disengage her, at least not yet. Just trying to get her to open the range so that she's not the target anymore. Have her maneuver a little bit, degrade the accuracy of the incoming fire. Drago's down to 69% structure. A lot of fires going. Forward tower is out as well. That's going to help a lot. %50 structure. A lot of fires going. Almost over 20% crew losses now as well. Thinking over what we're going to find. Well, the 6-inchers are doing quite a bit of damage. Some of that could have been on the light cruiser, though. But the 2.9s are doing good work. Not a fun time on this pre-Dreadnought battleship. How's it going, Drago? Not the best? Incoming damage, she's taking 8,600 damage, 1,900 of that is fires, and 5,400 of it from the 2.9s. It says 1.9 because it kind of crosses up its own calibers with the incoming damage. .0 inches, 0.0 inches of superstructure armor. I think that's the Achilles heel of that design, and it's a pretty common Achilles heel in the auto designs. Okay, let's get these cruisers turned back around. Don't want to get too far away. There's our Rochambeau class. This one, of course, is not refit. None of the operational Rochambeaus at sea are refit, so it's still got all these 6.9 wing turrets. The refit versions will not. All these larger main turrets on the lower sponsons are being replaced by a bunch of 3.9-inch guns. This is our Bouvan class, which is kind of similar actually. Maybe I should go back and do something with them too. They've got these 6.9s on these lower sponsons. A little bit smaller class, so it's 2 wing turrets instead of the 3 on the Rochambeau. They're also slower. The Rochambeaus are a 24-knot class cruiser. The Bouvan are 21-knot. Rochambeaus are actually the fastest cruiser in the fleet. I don't think we have any light cruisers that go that fast. The new Dushaila class I might have made those 24 knot or faster. I don't remember. Okay, Drago is dead in the water. Burning. Propulsion's out. Almost 30% crew losses. Boom. Jules Ferry just popped Garibaldino pretty hard with a 6.9-inch shell. Slow everybody down to cruise speed. Just for accuracy's sake. Finish off these cruisers. Thought follow would work, but they're both going to try to follow the same ship. So. Drago about done. %2 structure left. 33% crew losses. Still a little bit of floatability, not much. I think structure is what's going to do it. She's taken 8,600 damage from the 2.9s and about 3,400 damage from the 6.9s. And 3,200 in fire. Okay, battleship down. Did we already sink the cruiser? I don't think so. There she is. She was pretty banged up. I knew she couldn't have been going very fast to run away. And this class of light cruiser apparently doesn't have any torpedoes. Not sure we've run across that design before. Lots of 4.2s and a few 2-inch. That's a lot of 4. How many is that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. One of our Bouillon class heavy cruisers against 3 Italian destroyers. And there we go, target sighted. So 3 Italian destroyers. We don't particularly need them getting any closer to us than we can help. We obviously cannot outrun them, but turning away will slow their closure rate. We're not going to outrun them. Let's go ahead and drop the cruise speed, help our accuracy.
your best move is just go straight. Straighten that out a little bit there. Yeah. Okay. Well, that Vito actually went crazy off course, but came closer. All right. Here's your first torpedo attack. Pesky DDs. Just shot again. But Leela's still got plenty of torps, but it's on the reload right now. Comes Sebastiano with a full bag, or ready to fire. I don't know. I think we're about to take a torpedo here. Done! Ah! Let's open the range here some. All fire, but they would have fired. Whoop. I need to bring this time compression down. Got to play with fire here. Sebastiano is launched and is out of torpedoes. And I'm guessing that would be Pache. It's on her last reload. I think just keep going straight is your best bet. Well, let's turn off. We may have to come some torpedoes here. Or they're just self-destructing as they reach max range. That works too. Okay, I think we've just about taken care of the torpedo threat. Sebastiano out of torps. Pache's got a few left. And of course, Belila is out of torpedoes. Haven't done a lot of damage. Done more than we received. You know, we've been doing a fair amount of torp dodging and turning away and that sort of thing. Okay. All the destroyers have lost their torpedoes. Start firing the closest one. 5X now. Or X5. Ammo debt in Sebastiano. Okay, Sebastiano down. Pache, your turn. I think Valil has already been slowed a bit with some propulsion damage. I don't know if she still has propulsion damage. She does not. So we maintain a steady course here for a second so as to impact our own accuracy as little as possible. Okay, just turn back. Leela taking some damage. Some fires and a little bit of flooding going. For that matter, we've got some propulsion damage. We've got a little fire aft. We've got some flooding going on ourselves. These heavy cruisers aren't super chips. And the Bavine, as I mentioned earlier, doesn't have some of the latest tech that we have available either. Okay, pretty much took care of Balila there. Okay, both destroyers dead in the water, which is going to make them tons easier to hit. Got a little bit of rudder damage ourselves. If nothing else, the Bavine class, at very least, needs to be refit for a better rangefinder. Bouvin? I don't know. Okay. 5 knots, about 11 knots. But sail by and finish off this closer. Destroyer first. Really, HE would be the better choice. Or not. Plot. Maybe the AI knew what it was doing there. Or the auto shell select. So that's auto. It's like 2/3 of our damage coming from the 2.9s. Of course, there's a lot more 2.9 guns shipped than there are. I think I've got 2 dual mounts of 6.9s. Yeah. No, no. There are 6 mounts of 6.9. Ammo detonation on Pache. Okay. Hey, 700 victory points for us. I would kind of like to get Italy closer to asking for peace, which I would accept, because we've got the Germans up in the North Sea as well. And that's one less of those enormous doom stacks to deal with. Okay, looks like probably light damage to Marseille. Very comparable accuracies between the 6.9s and the 2.9s. A little over 7% apiece. Then we have a couple of small convoy defenses up here right by Marseille. 1 versus 2 destroyers, and then 1 straight up destroyer duel. These are both Triomphant class destroyers in each case, which have received the refit. So they've got the triple torpedo tube and the upgraded rangefinder. Spotted. I did notice right at the beginning that one of the Italian destroyers is heavily damaged and doesn't have any propulsion, as sometimes happens. I believe that that is corrected in the most recent update, but only with a new campaign. I haven't seen a lot of that in this campaign, but a little. I lost 1 light cruiser off camera due to that. And I think with the refit, we should have a longer range. Yeah, we have a 4.0 kilometer torp range ourselves now. Triomphant. This is the second Triomphant. I noticed the first Triomphant was sunk at some point early in this war. And the name was reused within the same class. It's like a pretty good geometry. Let's go ahead and let her take a shot. She likes her geometry. This is one of the torpedo heavy ones with five double deck launchers. Actually, I'm going to save those torpedoes for when she takes some engine damage, maybe, and slows down. She's still going 27 knots as it is right now. Fire from the other destroyer shown up. A lot of fires aft on Bronzo. It's down to 15 knots. Reloading torps again. Hopefully that turn means we don't even actually spot any torpedoes, which should be running over this way. Yeah, see those torpedo malfunctions going off right there. Or expiration of their runs when they run out. There was a big penetration there. The Battlestar propulsion damage to the other destroyer, which is an older destroyer, kind of turned this into a 1v1, which is helpful. I don't want to get... She does still have... Oh, no torpedoes left for you. Bronzo is down. Okay, well, we know where the other destroyer is. We'll just follow her shell. There she is. There's the smoke. Back down to X5. They can see us. I think this is a smaller destroyer, the smaller target signature, and of course she's still in smoke as well. Not as many torpedo tubes on this class, but there's still quite a few. Oh, yeah. This is gonna... Another 500 points. %, accuracy on the 3.9s. Italy is asking for a peace treaty. If we make peace with Italy, then it's just a 1-versus-1 war with Germany. And it's one less enormous doom stack of ships to deal with. I'm going to go ahead and agree. I do kind of want to keep one war going. But we've got that other war with Germany, for naval budget reasons. It does impact GDP. Okay, so this is a different Italian destroyer design. We've seen the version that has 5 double launchers and 2 double launchers. I don't know if I've seen the class here, the Andrea Pravana class, with 3 double launchers. Dog is also a refit Triomphant, just like, Triomphant was in the last battle. On to X5, they see us. Oh, shit. Oh, this is going to turn into a torpedo lottery here. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, dud! Dud! Oh, and we popped them. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Down here. Accuracy. And yeah, she doesn't have any torpedoes left. We're on our reload, but our first shot was good. Feel free to shoot. Yeah, these mounts don't turn that fast. So when a sharp turn, they're not keeping up with the bearing. I need to take a look at that in the designs. But she doesn't have any torpedoes. Is that because I damaged them, or is that because she has reduced torpedo loadout? No, ammo torps standard. So we knocked out her torpedo launch. Whoop! Just lost sight of her. Which we're in stormy weather, gale wind, very rough sea waves. The spotting distance is quite small, as we saw at the beginning. Like, worst possible conditions here. We can actually slow down a little bit more here. There's really no reason not to. Just finishing her off. And there she goes, Andrea Pravana. Well, there's a couple convoys successfully defended. Yeah, so we're about 10-1 on the victory points, and we'll see if Italy, or if our government, takes our recommendation for the peace. So we have peace signed between France and Italy. No ports available. And do I want any of their ships? Interestingly, none of their battleships seem to be available. I guess it wasn't enough of a victory for that. Well, they're not sorted by... Oh, yeah, there are a lot of battleships. I don't think I particularly care to have any of their battleships for their own sake. I might be interested short term in some of their battleships for power projection in this war with Germany. But then they themselves will be kind of punching bag targets. We could just take a bunch of battleships and scrap them, get a little bit of money that way, and we deprive Italy of a lot of her ships that way. Then the other question is, do I even have the port capacity for these things? Do I want to spend the maintenance? Do I want to spend the crew out of my crew pool? My crew pool is not enormous. It's not terrible. I wish you could, kind of like you get the tooltip, kind of wish you could kind of hover over these things and it'll tell you what class it is. You know what? I'm just going to take the 116 million. That will plus us up to almost 400,000 in naval funds and let Italy continue to have to try to fund and support these older battleships on a peacetime budget. I think that's fine. Okay, we've picked up some. Austria-Hungary is fairly close to war with us, like minus 86. So a little bit of positive relations with her in the East Med is not a bad thing. And finally, we've picked up steam turbines. It's going to reduce weight. It's going to improve acceleration. It's going to give us more horsepower. It is going to improve, increase costs, though. Turbines in 1911, too. That's, and I am purportedly very advanced in technology. And steam turbines coming along in 1911 seems like, I don't know, about 5 or 6 years too late. HMS Dreadnought was designed from the keel up with turbine propulsion in mind. It was a big part of her revolutionary nature as a dreadnought. Not just the big guns, the turbines as well. And that was in 1906. We are still at war, so we're still on a wartime budget. Actually, we've picked up even a lot more than that. We are at about 500,000 naval funds now with a very healthy monthly balance. And we're at war with one nation, not two. So we're going to be fighting the Germans for a while. And one of the biggest, I didn't mention it earlier, one of the biggest reasons I decided to go ahead and make peace with Italy was the power projection situation. You know, they had their doom stack in the West Med, and the Germans are able to push doom stack into the English Channel. And so I was getting a little bit worried about getting blockaded from the north and the south. And that is much, much less of a concern now. And I think I will move, the preponderance of the fleet is in the West Med, and I'm going to move a preponderance of the fleet out to the North Atlantic. So the Sardinia War is over, and apparently you cannot take any Italian ports, not even Sardinia. I mean, the Corsica ports, which start French, but they're up for grabs. You can take these from France if you're playing another country. And these two here can be taken from France if you're playing another country. And then, of course, these initially British possessions, Limassol, Valletta, and Gibraltar. But I thought because Corsica ports are eligible for peace treaties that the Sardinia ports would be as well, and they apparently are not. They weren't even grayed out as an option for which we did not have enough money in that particular piece, right? So based on everything that I've seen, the ports which can change hands are the ones I mentioned here in the Med, the 3 British ones, the 4 French ones, and Ireland, which is a tremendous amount of money, and so is usually grayed out. However, I guess none of the other ones are even eligible, at least in the current state of the campaign. And that will do for this episode. If you like what we're doing with the channel, if you like the content, then leave a like, leave a comment, maybe even subscribe. If you'd like to catch other episodes of this series that you may not have seen yet, I'm linking the playlist here. At any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.